there. I'm Heather Hall, and I'm coming to you from my home office in Oxford, Maryland. And I'd like to introduce you to my new book, Step Up and Stand Out, 20 Tips for Aspiring Introverted Leaders. Let's start with the dedication, and then I'll read the introduction and the first tip, just to get you oriented. This book is dedicated to all the aspiring leaders who feel unseen and unheard. May you own your strengths, trust your story, and live success on your own terms. Introduction. Being an introvert doesn't mean you're shy, reticent, or reclusive. Descriptions used by most dictionaries. Introverts are people who prefer calm, quiet environments. They prefer deep one-on-one conversations rather than gathering in groups, and they usually enjoy alone time to recharge after social engagements. Introverts are perfectly normal and account for 30 to 50% of the population. I've always enjoyed my alone time and found large gatherings to be exhausting. I rarely spoke first in meetings or rushed to make decisions, preferring instead to observe and to do my research. So early in my career, I wasn't surprised to learn I was an introvert. In fact, knowing this is just how I'm wired gave me permission to be who I am and to honor the gifts that I bring to the team. It wasn't until I started my corporate career that I realized being an introvert could have a negative impact. Turns out that businesses, in the US at least, are made by extroverts for extroverts. Their model of leadership is bold, energetic, and outgoing. Studies show that the majority of corporate executives in the US think introverts don't make good leaders. We're seen as aloof, withdrawn, unfriendly, and unsociable. Our quiet, observant, introspective nature is seen as a detriment to success. Where executives see what's missing, I see the secret superpowers of introverts. We are strategic thinkers and solution-oriented problem solvers due to our capacity for research and in-depth contemplation. The depth of our listening leads others to consider us to be close friends and confidants, building strong relationships and loyal followers. We tend to be avid readers and strong writers, facilitating clear communication, and our integrity and expertise, they can be a bit intimidating to others. These are just a few of the strengths that introverts bring to their teams. These are also the core skills executives seek in leaders. So why aren't we sought out and promoted? If you're like most of the introverts I work with, you've got skills, talent, and experience, but you don't go around bragging. You consistently contribute to your organization, but you don't get the recognition and rewards your extroverted colleagues do. You may be the quietest person on the team, but that doesn't mean you're not engaged or working hard. You do your homework, bringing great ideas to meetings, and still your boss doesn't seem to see or hear you. You have ambition, but your career has stalled. And when you are promoted, it can be exhausting trying to fit in with the new team and meet all the expectations. During my corporate career, I frequently bumped into assumptions and expectations about quiet leaders. I found ways around and through these barriers while staying true to myself and achieving success on my own terms. I'm here to tell you that introverts can be successful leaders without conforming to the extroverted model. In fact, introverts make great leaders. Our ability to listen deeply, develop meaningful connections, research and problem solve in the toughest circumstances, these are just a few of the many characteristics introverts possess which help us excel. I wrote this book for quiet leaders struggling to rise up in their organization. It's my hope that by sharing my lessons learned, you can accelerate your success. If you're ready to step up and stand out without straying too far from your comfort zone, this book is for you. I encourage you to read the whole book, but you can do so in any order. You may want to implement a new tip each week or each month to give yourself ample opportunity to learn new skills. And spend some time with the questions for reflection at the end of each chapter. These will help you develop your action plan for success. So let's take a look at tip 1. Embrace your superpowers. As an introvert, you're wired differently from most of your colleagues, but you have secret superpowers they can't touch. You're more comfortable talking one-on-one and prefer meaningful conversations, while they're energized in group settings and easily chit-chat with everyone. Introverts are super observant, natural-born sociologists. While extroverts may think of you as a wallflower, that's just your way of stepping back to observe and catalog everything. You know what's going on around you and often have a sixth sense about people and situations. You're a deep thinker, looking not just at what's happening in the moment, but processing what that means and what are the consequences. This makes you a great problem solver, and while you're reluctant to jump to conclusions, you're already identifying gaps, collecting data, and running experiments in your mind. Introverts are exceptional listeners. Many people think of us as great friends and confidants because we're so attentive. In a world that can't stop talking, as Susan Cain observes, being a listener is a rare and valued gift. You bring a sense of calm to any room you enter, and when you tap into it, your presence puts others at ease. You may lighten the tension or soothe the chaos in meetings, and although you speak up less often, people listen when you do. Once people have a chance to know, like, and trust you, they will seek your input, recognizing that you've given the topic a great deal of thought. Introverts tend to be avid readers with great recall and memory. They may not be the most spontaneous or articulate speakers, but they've done their research and they're ready to expound upon their point of view when invited. In fact, if the topic is something they care deeply about, they're quite passionate and persuasive. And you generally have strong communication skills, intentionally choosing your words to make your point and tuning in to your audience to be sure they understood. Your team recognizes that they can count on you to provide valuable insights, make connections which weren't obvious, and carry them forward with passion and dedication. Don't internalize criticism from colleagues who cannot imagine how you do what you do. Embrace your superpowers. A few questions for reflection. What are your introvert superpowers? How has each of them helped you to excel at what you do? Where or when do you find you need your superpowers the most? Thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear your feedback, and if you have any questions, I love to support you in your journey to success. You can find me online at discoverwithheather.com.